round of the World Touring Masters Season 3. The race is taking place today at Salzburgring. Unfortunately, Ryan will not be able to join us as he is feeling deathly ill. Unfortunate for him. But we're looking to. I'll be with you today to commentate. You can just follow along with all the racing here. We're headed into qualifying, so as we head into qualifying here, we're going to see if we can catch up with anyone on a lap, because we're getting kind of right into this, because what's happening is we're doing what's called a super pole qualifying, which means we're starting with you only get one out lap, one hot lap, and your in lap. So you get one shot at it. There's no multiple laps. You get one chance. If you make a mistake, you're starting at the back of the field. Now, the grid that you're seeing there, the list of drivers is correct to what we had in in practice. And Jesper Talberg was the fastest man on the track, which is pretty well the consensus across all of the drivers here today, that Jesper would be the quickest because he is in the more powerful Holden here, and the long straights at this track really play into that factor. Now, last season, the race was not won by a Holden. It was actually won by a Rover driven by Ben Crooks, who is unfortunately not racing today. Still is without net, and it's a shame, because Ben would have been a very good addition to this race. However, Gregory DeGrief was a close second in qualifying, so we're going to go along with him here. We'll follow along with him for this lap and see what kind of time he can pull off. Here he is starting his first and only lap in this Super Pole qualifying. Gregory is sneaky, to say the least. He's been very, 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 very slick this season with his pit strategies. However, this event being a two-race format, we're going to be looking at no strategies, just solid racing. Each race we're going to be having a qualifying. Oh, very, very tough in there. Locks the brakes up. These corners are so tricky if you get your entry wrong. We're going to be running two Super Pole qualifyings before a Super Pole qualifying before each race. So they're going to be 18 lap races, and we're talking all action like it was last season. So here's Gregory. Looks like he's going to be setting, I would assume, which is going to take provisional pole based on his practice times. But we've yet to see Jesper take to the track, so we'll wait and see how that plays out. But they only have 10 minutes to set their one lap, and you make a mistake, that's it. And you're starting back in 37th position, 38th position. But Gregory's coming around. He's going to be finishing his lap down through the left, locks the brakes up a little bit. Nice and smooth. Avoid the anti-cuts. Use a little bit of curb here, a little bit of a drift. Heads down the start-finish line straightaway. What kind of time is he going to pull off? Looks like he's pulled in a 1:24 flat. And Jesper, the Iceman, has gone purple in Sector 1 by 0.6. We were expecting this from Jesper because the Holden does have the advantage here because of the long straights. Vladislav Perlaka takes second place with a 1:24.7. Jesper's coming around to finish his lap, using a lot of curb there, a little bit of grass too, avoids the anti-cuts, just drives that car nice and smooth. Jesper, the Iceman, heads down to what should be the pole. Oh, he gets a little squirrely. Heads to the line, and he takes it by only 0.4. So he actually lost 2 full tenths by those little mistakes. That could have been so devastating if he had lost control there. Now let's go back through the field here. We're with Semenchko. He sits in 8th for the present time. Let's have a look through the field here. Okay, let's pull through. Toby Davis is sitting in 11th with no time. But as the fields start to fill out, we've got Peter Bartfly in 4th position right now provisionally, Gary Lennon in 5th, Tony Matthews in 6th, Andy Oakley jumps into 6th place with a 1:25.9. Who do we still have to go out here? Jeff Dobbing. We still have Tommy Ohala, who actually had set a very, very quick time. He was sitting 3rd position after practice. Let's slide through the field. And here we go. Toby Davis, the championship leader in Season 3, is headed out onto the track. We'll follow along with him, maybe ride on board. Toby's put in a good bit of practice, as he always does, and he always reaps the benefits because he does put in all that hard work. Get on board here. There we go. So here's Toby Davis going out for his out lap. Maybe we'll catch back up with him. We'll see if we can catch someone on a lap. Got Kane Lasky is out finishing his lap. Comes up on Toby. Ooh, really close. Ooh, gets a little swirly there. Kane is looking to complete his lap and jump up the leaderboard. As I roll through the standings, let's see if anything's changed at the front that we missed. Jesper Talborg is provisionally pole with a 23.6. Gregory DeGrief at 124 flat. Vladislav Brlak in third. Jay Adji in fourth with a 125.5. Peter Bartfy, Gary Lennon, Andy Oakley, Tony Matthews round out the top 8 provisionally. Kane Lasky's looking to set a time here. He looks like he's about 3.7 back. Still trying to get a handle of these cars. I'm going to get back to Toby Davis now, who is going to be starting his lap very shortly here. Toby is well seasoned at this track. He raced here last season. I believe he ended up finishing not well, DNF'd, but he was quick. He had the pace. He was at a 25.9 last season, where running against Ben Crooks and Anders Nilsson. Fastest race lap time last season was a 125.3 by Anders Nilsson, who had an incredible run in his season as the original Ross Steele and Sex Appeal. Toby Davis here starting his one and only lap. Got to avoid the anti-cuts, keep it tight, get a good run off this corner here, the bus stop. He's got, I think that's it looks like Chris Butcher up ahead of him, so I don't think he's going to give him any trouble, but he might give him a tow. And these guys are sneaky here because he is close enough to get a tow. And Butchie is, I think they're playing the game, is what they're doing. I think they're playing the game. He is only 0.07 of a second down on Jesper Talborg. He's really using that draft, and I'm not 100% sure on the rules, but I guess they know if it's legal or not. But and there's Butchie. He pulls off. He must have been on his outlaps. These guys, they think of everything. Toby Davis is now, but still, even with the tow, he's still 0.7 back of Jesper Talborg. He's not, that Holden is very difficult to beat at this track, and a lot of the drivers were complaining, but there are tracks where the Holden is going to be severely disadvantaged, so all's fair across the board. Nice and smooth through here, use a little bit of curb, avoid the anti-cuts, come across, a little bit of a slide, head down the start-finish line straightaway, gets loose, he's off onto the grass, saves it. Nice save by Toby. Always exciting to watch Toby, and he slots into 4th position where Chris Butcher has slid into 2nd. Oh no, Rasmus Salo has taken the pole. Rasmus Salo, I am sorry we missed that. Rasmus, let me see if we can get onto Rasmus Salo here, and I'll see if I can catch the end of his lap there. Wow, congratulations Rasmus Salo. See if we can get any of it. I don't think so. Oh, there we go. No, we're not going to get any of that. So Rasmus Salo has taken the pole from Jesper Talborg. The Iceman has been thawed out. Rasmus Salo pulling off a 123.588, getting the pole from Jesper Talborg by 0.028. That's less than the blink of an eye. But provisionally, Rasmus Salo has the pole, and the two Holdens are sitting on. They're holding the front. Grit it down. Chris Butcher slotting into 3rd position. Gregory DeGrief in 4th. Toby Davis in 5th. Vladislav Brlak in 6th. Eric Tveit having a great run in 7th position. And Tommy Ohala in 8th. Let's see if we can get on board with someone here. You'll have to excuse me. I'm not quite as good with the controls as Ryan. He generally is the producer, main commentator as well. David Yunt, who's had a great run in the World V8 Supercars, is going to be coming along here to start his lap. He's in the Ford. Let's see what he's got for this field today. But as he takes that lap, let's see who else we still have to go on track. It looks like the entire field has gone. Florian Strauss has not set a lap, so maybe we can catch him in this lap, because Florian Strauss looks to me like 1.3 seconds back. Now the Mercedes is definitely not the favored car here because it doesn't have quite the top speed, but it is good on its tires, and when driven by the right man, and Florian Strauss is the right man, also Vladislav Brlak, they can be a deadly in the race, and we saw that at the last event. Oh, drops the wheel on the outside, gets loose. Oh, scary stuff. Florian Strauss looking provisionally at 1.9 seconds back of pole. Now, this is going to be a little bit frantic here today, is all I can really say. I mean, 18 laps, no pit stops. These guys are going to be racing hard for position, and you're going to see moves early on that you generally wouldn't see early on in a longer race. Florian Strauss coming to cross the line to see where he's going to slot in. Let's see if we can catch it. About 1.7, he slots into 12th position. You've got the Mercedes of Florian Strauss in 12th position. Let's see who we can catch here. A lot of cars here filling the field today. Marius Millervold is on his lap. I believe that's the last car that needs to set a time here today. Because I believe Alberto Aznaghi has set a time of 1:26.4, but he's showing in 37th. I'm not too sure exactly what that is. Oh, there he goes. Now he's slotted in. Old Marius Mirvold is on his lap. Final person to set a lap time. Adam Egbier has not set a lap time, and I don't believe is on the track. Sorry, excuse me. So these two are the last two to run down through here, trying to get within the 106%. Mirvold's only 0.8 back of the pole at this point. In the big pink puff machine. Ooh, getting loose. It's so easy to do in that big, heavy Holden. Low to the ground, but man, is it heavy. Use a little bit of curb. Stay off those anti-cuts. That was a nice, smooth line. Nice exit on down to the start-finish line straightaway. Where's Mirvold going to slot in? Going to be ninth position for another Holden. Let's see if we can catch on Adam Egbier at the end of his lap. I believe Egbier has completed the lap, so the field is set. And we're going to be headed into warm-up here just for a couple minutes, and I'll give you a quick rundown of the field when it does come up. But as it stands, one thing I just wanted to mention is the points at this point right now. Toby Davis, after having an incredible start, has lost a little bit of his traction to a very steady, very solid Gregory DeGrief, who's closed the gap up down to 24 points. Toby Davis has 284. Gregory DeGrief has 260, with Jesper Talberg a very close 235 after having a perfect race, pole, fastest lap, and race win at the last event. I mean, Chris Butcher is very close within striking distance, and we're still early in this season. Vladislav Berlake is in 5th, Florian Strauss in 6th, Ben Crooks in 7th, who unfortunately has missed the last event and will miss this one and is definitely going to be out of the championship. Now, as we head into warm-up here, I'm going to go through the grid here. We got Rasmus Salo in the Holden, 1:23.588, just nipping it from Jesper Talberg at 1:23.610. So the Holdens are holding down the front row, and I would expect to see them pretty well battle it out between the two of them, unless they suffer some damage, because this track really is favored for the Holdens. Rasmus Salo with a surprise pole here. Now, Chris Butcher pulls off an incredible run, taking the 3rd position in the Cosworth, with Gregory DeGrief in the Skyline in 4th position. And again, there's only 5 thousandths of a second between those two drivers. Toby Davis is in 5th place with a 24.3. So Vladislav Berlake, 1:24.7. Eric Tveit, great run by him in the Rover, the highest ranking Rover. Actually, Berlake is the highest ranking BMW. Eric Tveit being a 1:24.888. Tom Yohala in the Sierra at 1:24.9. Ole Marius Mirvold, another Holden in the top 10 at a 1:24.9. Let's see here. And then we got Jonas Ravio at a 25.0. Shannon Blonde in the Ford Mustang GT. Great run by Shannon. I believe Shannon's been working with a couple of the other drivers at the front with his setup, and I'm going to be very pleased with that result. 25.2 for Shannon Blonde. William Levike, a 25.2. 13th, Florian Strauss at a 1:25.2. I'm surprised to see him so far back, considering the other BMW is so far up with Berlake, but I would expect to see him race well throughout this race. In 14th position is David Yunt. Should be pleased, but David Yunt would probably want to be a little further up. Ivo Simons in 15th, Jay Adji in 16th, Peter Barkfy in 17th, Gary Lennon, a little further down than I was expecting from Gary, down in 18th. Andy Oakley in 19th, Adam Egbier in 20th, Tony Matthews 21st, Mikko Mustonen in 22nd, Adam Vaughn is in 23rd, 24th is Alberto Aznaghi, and we've lost someone in 25th. I'm sure they can still rejoin. 26th is Christophe Badura, 27th is Ricardo Aznaghi. And I believe we just had some cars explode in the pits. I'm not too sure what that was. In 28th position, Yari Venari. 29th position, Jeff Daube. 30th position, Jonathan Moderem. 31st, David Cuthill. 32nd, Peter Clausen. 33rd, Nikolai Ilovanov. 34th, Roy Magnez. 35th, Kane Lasky. 36th, Vadim Semenchko. And 37th, Andy Banar. 38th, Scott Svik. And that will round out your 38 drivers here for this 18-lap dual sprint race here at Salzburgring. So now, as we head to, we're going to be headed to the, let's hop on board here with someone here. Make sure everyone's looking okay. Okay. As you can see, when you start to get a number of cars out on the track here at Salzburgring, it tends to get a little crowded. The track is very wide, but when you consider how many cars there are going to be taking the green, and we see one of the Supras goes off there on one of the runs a little wide. As you consider how many guys are here and how hard they're going to be racing for position, you can just picture what it's going to be like. And last season was pretty frantic here at this racetrack, but it's going to come down to obviously a little bit of tire conservation, because 18 laps on a set of tires when you're racing hard is not easy to maintain. And whoever can keep their tires together a little longer will have that edge come in the race end. Now, once this event is complete, this portion, the first race, the race will be over. The results are for that particular race. We go over to, then we'll have our second race, which will be another Super Pole qualifying, and then we'll go into another 18-lap sprint race. So we're doing 2 sprint events here. Gives a chance for a lot of points. And what we have seen though this season is at the start of the race, the guys in the Holden seem to have a bit of a struggle getting off the line, and naturally so. It's a heavy car. You're going from zero, and you're trying to get up to speed as quickly as possible. But the guys who generally take advantage of the overall the race starts is Chris Butcher and Toby Davis. Those two guys have incredible starts in those Fords. Gregory DeGrief generally has basically a solid, consistent start, never extremely overwhelming, but he never loses positions. But Chris Butcher being in third position, I'm going to say Chris Butcher by turn 1. That's my prediction here. I do, however, predict it's going to be a Holden battle between Salo and Talberg today, which is basically the consensus across all of the drivers. This is a Holden track, and as we get further into the season, the Holdens will start to get disadvantaged at the other tracks we're racing at. As you can see, everyone is just kind of practicing their starts, trying to get figured out where they got to let the clutch out, how much they got to slip it. So we've got Jesper Talberg at the front. It's going to be it should be a 2-car battle at the front, with a battle between probably 5 to 6 cars for the 3rd to 8th position, if I'm correct here. Now, let me just have a quick look here at last season. So, Chris Butcher having a 3rd position finish from last season. Tommy Ohala was 4th last season, but that was not a sprint event. That was a long race. It was 36 laps. Jesper Talberg had taken a 5th position when he had qualified 3rd. He lost 2 positions throughout the race. Peter Duivelar in the Volvo last season managed to pull off a 6th, who was our reigning champion. Now, we're going to be leaving warm-up here, and we're going to be getting ready to see the start of round 4 at Salzburgring in the World Touring Masters presented by TouringProSeries. And as they all take the grid, as the grid fills up, it's pretty spectacular to look at. As you see them line up here. Okay, so I'm just going to be winding down here. I believe they're going to be doing a formation lap. Or no, they're not. They're going straight away. And look at the start that Berlacca's got. Berlacca's up into the lead from 6th place. Berlacca has taken lead. The Holdens have struggled a little bit here. And Toby Davis and Chris Butcher, turn 1, leading. No, Berlacca from 6th place, over the curbs. Berlacca gets really airborne. Oh no, there's carnage. Oh, cars everywhere. What's happened here? Oh no. We got to stay with the leaders here. I'm going to pull this back just ever so slightly. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Berlacca gets airborne, hits Jesper. He goes around, hits 2 more cars, carries on, and there's a bit of carnage there. Oh dear. So as we're back on board with Jesper, let's get back up through the field to Toby Davis, who was leading the race. And we'll get a shot of the field going by here. They've stretched out quite a bit. We've got, Jesper Talberg has dropped back to 7th place after that. Vladislav Berlacca with the most incredible start I've seen in any series. 6th to the lead. But loses it to Toby Davis, who is a very seasoned racer. You've got Chris Butcher in 3rd position. You've got Olmarius Mirvold in 4th. With Rasmus Salo following a close 5th. But Rasmus Salo was a pole, so you've got the 3 Holdens all bumper to bumper, followed by an Alpha? An Alpha. William Levike in 7th position is trying to hang on to the front or the back of these Holdens, and look at them just take off. And then Tommy Ohala, with the extra speed of the Cosworth, just goes by him with ease. But wow, incredible start by Levike. But back up at the front here, you've got Toby Davis now with clear track, which is always a bad thing. We always mention this, that when Toby Davis gets out front, he doesn't like to let up. He pushes and pushes for everything he can, and he knows he needs to gap these guys in the Holdens who are back here battling with each other. Rasmus Salo, the new raw steel, has set himself apart from these other battling cars. He's up into 4th place. Jesper has managed to squeeze through and get into 5th, but Miravold is holding tight in 6th, with Tommy Ohala 7th, Levike in 8th. And as we go back a little bit here, we got Ivo Simon in 9th. David J. Anderson, great start, great run so far by David J. Anderson in 10th place. Adam Egbeer taking him into the sweeper here. We got the 2 Rovers battling it out. The car that won last season, actually. Jay Adji in 12th. Juha Yupi is in 13th. Andy Oakley 14th. Let's just get back up to the leaders here, guys, because this is going to be some action, I think, coming up soon here. But Berlacca is holding pretty tight to Toby Davis. Let's see what the gap is at the line. The gap is going to be... it doesn't say the gap yet. Toby Davis is going to have to drive really fast, really quickly, because Rasmus Salo is on a mission. This guy qualified pole, out-qualified the Iceman, de-thawed the Iceman, and took the pole position, and he can already smell the position from Chris Butcher here. This track is just so perfect for these big, wide Holdens, as you can see the way they take these long, sweeping corners. They are hard on tires, however, but the Cosworths seem to be a little more twitchy than the big, heavy Holdens. But back here, Mirvold under attack from Tommy Ohala. Levike, I cannot believe that Levike is still holding on in that little Alpha. Well done to you, sir, my fellow Canadian. Oh, it's Salo's closing in on Butcher. Let's get on board with Butcher here and see what it looks like to be attacked from behind. But oh, who's that behind him? Talberg heading off course. He needs to save those tires to keep that car together, because you do have the racing advantage. Chris Butcher is under heavy attack from Rasmus Salo, and as they come through down the start-finish line straight away, you're going to see the power of the Holden as he gets into the slipstream. It's going to be very hard to keep this car behind him. Raw Steel, Jesper Talberg, fastest lap of the race, even with dropping a wheel, 25-1. Rasmus Salo easily looking up the inside, can't make it though, into the bus stop. He gets loose, gets up on 2 wheels. Wow. Chris Butcher's probably just thankful he saved that. Rasmus Salo looks ahead into the sweeper. look who's there. The Iceman is looking to freeze again. He's all over the back of Rasmus Salo as he's in the slipstream. See, now the two of these guys are both going to be closing on Butcher. Look at the speed around the outside with Jesper Talberg in tow. Around the outside, the both of them go through. Wow, Chris Butcher's probably just going, what am I going to do? What do you want me to do? And look at Jesper. Look at Butcher, though. He's pushing. He's not giving up. Butcher never gives up. And look at him trying to make a move around the outside. Trying to go up the middle. Jesper's trying to take the spot away from Rasmus Salo in third. Vladislav Brlaka is still holding second place. And look at Butcher's not giving up. Look at him sideways. Little contact. Oh, my gosh. How did he do that? Let's just pull that back. I got to see that one more time. Look at this. And Jesper Talberg, again, the fastest lap. Look at Toby Davis. Chris Butcher, sorry, I get the two of them mixed up. As he squeezes through on Jesper Talberg. Get back to live motion here. Rasmus Salo ahead of Chris Butcher, while Vladislav Brlaka is feeling it now. Vladislav Brlaka is being enclosed on. Sorry, guys, just 1 second here. Oh, I'm not sure where I end up here. Okay, sorry, guys. Okay, back on with Jesper Talberg. There's Rasmus Salo, Chris Butcher. Okay, Rasmus Salo just making it look easy going by the BMW of Vladislav Brlaka. But look at the cornering speed the BMW has. That's its advantage. He's looking up the inside. He knows he's got to try to keep him racy, because once he gets that clear track, he's gone. And it's so hard to keep those cars behind you, though, because of the racing advantage that the Holdens have. They have just such incredible straight line speed. But look at this battle going on here. These guys are fighting tooth and nail. Brlaka does not want to give it up. Toby Davis is in sight for Rasmus Salo, who was our pole sitter. Rasmus Salo, fastest lap of the race with a 24.6. He's got the pole position, the fast lap, and he is now chasing down Toby Davis for the race win. Can he do it? Did Chris Butcher up the inside? Oh, he can't quite make it. Chris Butcher really fighting, because he knows he's got the speed over the BMW, and he's got Jesper pushing him. Jesper's trying to squeeze up in the middle of both these guys. Jesper to the inside, trying to get by Brlaka. Oh, contact! Contact between Jesper and Brlaka. There's exchanging niceties here. Brlaka is just going to be left in the dust here, because you got Talberg, who has a draft off of Butcher, and also all of that extra power. Look at him close on our man. Just drives right by him. And look at him go. Now you see him, now you don't. And Chris Butcher's not going to give up. He's going to try to keep it tight, try to get back by him. He's not going to nothing comes easy. Nothing comes easy in the WTM. He is looking. Jesper just wants to get by and just say goodbye to Chris Butcher, because he can see Rasmus Salo, and he knows he needs to get close to him, because he did take the pole. He's got the fastest lap. So coming onto the pit straight away, he is going to take off, and we can focus on something else. Rasmus Salo again setting a faster lap than his last with a 1:24.661. So he's running very consistent at this point. And look at the battle with Tommy Ohala and Ivo Simons. Just as you see the cars all stream by in the background there. I don't want to miss this, because Chris Butcher's not going to give up. He is just fighting tooth and nail to stay with Jesper, as Rasmus Salo is just pinging off the laps, and he is closing on Toby Davis. He closed. Now, it's showing, the timing's not showing up quite properly, because I think some of them have missed a strip, but Toby Davis doing a 1:25.1 last lap, and Rasmus Salo taking half a second out of the gap to him, but he still has to get by. We're on lap 7. There's still 11 laps to go. Okay, we'll leave that for a moment. Let's go back to the field. Mirvold has gapped himself from Tommy Ohala. Tommy seems to be sliding a bit. And look at the Alpha still holding on to the back of this. He's just fighting him. William Levike, contact between him and Simons, and he's off. Oh no! What's happened here? What has happened? Ivo Simons and Levite coming together, and this ending very badly for William Levite. Let's slow this down here. So there's a bit of contact. He's going on the outside. Fastest lap now to Jesper. Let's get on board with... They're coming around to the outside. A little bit of contact. He gets sideways. Oh, dear. William Levite gets just destroyed. Oh, heavens. Well, Ivo Simons is carried on. Levite, who had a great start going in the Alpha, has been taken off, and he is gone. Here we are with Mirvold and Tommy Ohala are back battling again. But up at the front, I think it's about that time where Rasmus Salo is going to close on Toby Davis, and this is going to be for the lead. Let's go on board with Toby and see what it looks like to be chased down by Ross Steele. Oh, Davis dropping a wheel. Come on, why are you driving so hard? What would be the purpose of dropping that wheel? Come on, Toby. Okay, now coming out of this long sweeper here, coming through the last few corners here as they head towards the start-finish line straight. The long straight along the back is where you will see the gap close significantly. But let's just see how much he can close. So Toby Davis doing a 1:25.4. The fastest lap of the race is now gone to Jesper Talberg, who is in chase of Rasmus Salo and wants to take back what he feels is rightfully his, is the top spot in the Holden through the bus stop. Ooh, both dropping a wheel. Everybody's pushing hard here. This is not... These people are not taking this lightly. They are pushing it to the edge every possible corner. And look, so as they come through the turn 3 sweeper, this is where the Holden is strong. And you can see Jesper Talberg in the background. Behind Salo. Look at him close here. Look at him close. The gap's not working. Let's see. And look at him. He's got right up to his bumper. Is he going to go by? He's going to try on the outside? No. He's going to think better of it. He's going to get back in line. Use a bit of the draft. Locks up, slides the tires a little bit, keeping it nice and tight. Getting in the slipstream, even through the corner. Toby is doing everything he can, trying to keep the car free so he can keep all his momentum. Looks up the inside. He's going to lose a bit of exit speed here. And look, all the while, the Iceman in the back is closing, coming through the last few corners here to the start-finish line straight. See, the gap opens up, though. See, you can see overall that the gap has only closed collectively about maybe 5 to 6 car lengths. But look at the draft. Here he comes into turn 1. Is he going to go up the inside? Looks up the inside. Rasmus Salo thinks better of it. They're headed through the bus stop. Turn 1, turn 2, over the eddy cuts. Oh, no! Oh, Salo. Almost losing it. Hits the anti-cuts and gets sideways. Now, if we look back, that's going to cost him a good bit of time. But now that puts him into the clutches of Jesper Talberg, who's very close to the bumper of Rasmus Salo and Ross Steele. And Chris Butcher back and forth. Vladislav Berlak in 5th. Mirvold in 6th. Tommy Ohala 7th. Ivo Simons in 8th. I'm going to have to get back to this battle for the Holdens here because it is heating up. And these guys are where we were expecting to see the most racing. The gap has opened up a little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the field and give everybody a shot to see. Gregory DeGrief. Now, I'm sorry if I haven't been following this because I should have been, but I'm not as 100% sure what's happened to Gregory DeGrief here. He has fallen by the wayside and he's back in 12th position now. He may have suffered some damage along the way, but there is some good battling going on back here between. You've got Jonas Ravio, Andy Oakley, Eric Tveit, Peter Bartfai, David Yunt. These guys are all battling for position. David Yunt is in 17th. You got Dave. Who's that there? Peter Bartfai, Eric Tveit. He's in the Rover. He's looking to get by Andy Oakley here. I'm going to get this back on. There we go. Now we finally have gaps proper again. The gap between Salo and Davis is 0.6. Ooh, I think that was... Who was that, Andy Oakley? I think that was Andy Oakley getting just up on 2 wheels, trying to pull an Adam Egbeer. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at these guys going down into into the bus. You can't go 3 wide into the... Oh, come on. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Trying to go around the outside. Is that Tveit? To Eric Tveit. Around the outside. He's going to get both of them. And he cuts. He's up on 2 wheels. He holds it. He holds it. He just took 2 positions going into the... Oh, no. Contact. I'm pulling this back. We got to see that one more time. I got to see what happened here. Let's see what happened here. So here we are on board with... Here we are with Eric Tveit following him. He goes to the outside. Let's pull this back again. Let's go on board with him. So he looks to the outside. Something happened. He brakes early. I believe that's De Grief they're braking early. Or no, it's not De Grief, sorry. I think it's Yuppie. So he goes around to the outside. He gets up on 2 wheels. Contact. Now, he drops back. And then contact between the two, the Cosworth and the Skyline. What exactly happened there? Let's see what happened here. Oh, I see what happened. He just got... Okay. What's happened was he jumped off the curb and got a little bit squirrely when he landed back on the pavement. Now let's get back up to the front because I think something's happened while I've been on this. Yes, it has. The lead has changed. Rasmus Salo's now leading. Toby Davis is in second, right on his bumper, not giving up. Jesper Talberg's right on Toby Davis. Toby knows that the only chance he's got at winning this race is to stay as close as possible to Salo and hope that his tires go off, and he's managed to save a bit of tires over him as Jesper Talberg easily overtakes Toby Davis. It's got to be frustrating, but it's part of the way this season is with the track selection. Jesper Talberg is going to be trying to chase down Rasmus Salo now. Toby Davis is in a comfortable third with Chris Butcher back in a comfortable fourth. Bullock a comfortable fifth with Mirvold, Ohala, and Simons rounding out the top 8. But now what we're going to see here is Toby Davis trying to take his position back. Oh, he gets a little loose. Looking up the inside the last few corners. They come around the start-finish line straight away here. Gets right under the bumper. And look, as we follow along, Jesper is in the draft of Rasmus Salo, but Salo did have the pole position as they pass a broke-down car on the side of the straight. He should either get into the pits or get back going. And Toby Davis is being left somewhat by the Holdens as they're coming up on lap traffic here through the bus stop in turn 1 and turn 2. Toby Davis is still looking. He does not give up. He will not go quietly into the night, and Jesper Talberg is looking for the lead. He doesn't want to wait. He wants to do it now. He wants to do it fast, and he wants to do it painless, just like a Band-Aid. But Rasmus Salo is going to be giving him some solid resistance. It's like having crazy glue on that Band-Aid. Now Ross Steele looking to defend Jesper Talberg in the tow. Can he do it down the long straight? Now he's going to use the draft of the... From what it looked like he was going to try to use the draft of the lap car, which would be a really smart move. Salo defends, and Jesper Talberg, the lapper, goes off the track. And look, Jesper Talberg to the inside, headed into the sweeper, and oh no, Salo drops the wheel, almost gets loose. Toby Davis takes second position, contact. Toby Davis is squeaked through. He took advantage of the pass that Jesper Talberg did where Salo gets a little bit wide. Beautiful pass. Let's see if we can pull that back. Talberg lines it up from ways back. Look at this. He just gets a nice clean drive through there. Salo gets a little bit loose as he's exiting off that corner. And Jesper Talberg, textbook. Nice move. Little bit of contact, little bit of a hello. Shoulder rubs, and then sends him off a little bit, and that gives Toby Davis to take the advantage there. And now what's happened is the power of the Holden has taken back the position, but Toby Davis will not stop. He is relentless, and it's always exciting to watch him race. Chris Butcher, solid fourth. Berlaka, solid fifth. Olmerius, Mirvold, and Tommy Ohala still battling. They're in 6th and 7th, and Ohala gets loose sideways. Can he save it? Save it, Tommy. He's good. And he didn't even lose any time. How is that possible? Tommy boy. Abel Simons in 8th position. Jay Adji in 9th. Gregory DeGrief is up to 10th. He's still digging. This is our second place contender in the championship. So Gregory needs to really push, and he's going to have to make up for the positions he did not make up in this race, particularly in the second portion of this event. Yuppie's in 11th. Egbeer's in 12th. What happened to Eric Tveit? Bartfai, Aznagi, Rauvio, Adam Vaughn, Oh no, what happened to Tveit? He had such a good run going. We'll just do a quick rundown. We got Mooston in 18th, David Yunton 19th, William Levike, who was having a great run until he got, I'm going to say a hip check from Ivo Simons, but the officials will look at that. Yari Venari in 21st, Kane Lasky in 22nd, Peter Clausen in 23rd, Alberto Aznagi in 24th, Jeff Dobbing in 25th, David Cuthill 26th, Christophe Badura in 27th, Shannon Blonde, who did have a great qualifying, is not going to be happy with his racing results so far. Not too sure what exactly happened to him, but he had a great run going in the Mustang. Andy Bernard in 29th. Semchenko is in 30th. David J. Anderson, who had it. David J. Anderson is in 30th. They're battling for position here, sorry. But David J. Anderson had a good run going. He was up in the top 15 at one point. Again, things are happening all over. This place is pretty relentless, but looks like Semchenko is not letting him have that spot. So they're running him wide. Blaupunkt Alpha, M3, sorry. On the Rover, oh no, David J. Anderson gets loose. Uses a bit of the grass, he's going to take it. Semchenko, he ends up going wide. Gives him the spot back. Jonathan Moderem is in 32nd. Who's that? I think that's some lap cars there. Jonathan Moderem as the leaders come through. And you've got Roy Magnez is the last running car. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DNFs. You got Savic, Ilovanov, Ryan Strauss, Tony Matthews, Andy Oakley, and Gary Lennon. Very unfortunate for these guys. Let's get back to the leaders here and see what we are doing here. Jesper Talborg is still leading the race. Rasmus Salo is 1.6 seconds back with Toby Davis in third. They seem to have spread out a fair bit. Jesper's taken his spot at the front, where he is very comfortable and very used to being. He's also in the running with a number of other great drivers in the running for Race Department Sim Racer of the Year. Chris Butcher 4th, Berlaka 5th, Mirvold in 6th, and Tommy Ohala. They're still at it, these two. They are not going to give up. We got, I believe, 2 laps to go left here. Let's see if we can find a good battle to follow along with to the end of this race. Who's that off? I think that's one of the guy who's already a lap down there. Adam Egbier, Aznagi, Ravio, Eric Tveit. Let's see, what do we got? Everyone seems to be fairly spread out, which it can happen here, but it's frantic for the first few laps, and then things kind of get spread out because people are starting to feel the burn of old rubber. Get back up near the front here. Let's follow with these guys here. Mirvold and Tommy Ohala battling tooth and nail. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Mirvold and Ohala. These guys are battling very hard. Let's get on, follow along with our pink puff machine. Start finish line straight into the bus stop. You go left, right, and down into a sweeper. Oh, and Ohala gets really loose under braking. Is he going to save it? No. Tommy Ohala has a. Oh, what happened there? Let's go along and see what happened. He just gets a little squirrely under braking, I think. Locks up. Gets a little loose. Locks up again. Tries to save it. Comes around. Counter steers. Oh, and you know what? The curb actually saved Ohala from spinning completely. So that was a very lucky thing for him. And Jesper Talborg has just done a 1:24.6. At this stage in the race, that is phenomenal. Because his tires are worn, he's been racing, and the fastest lap of the race is a 1:24.5. So that is just incredible. Oh, sorry, I was sorry, I was still on the replay there. So as they're coming start the final lap here, Jesper Talborg is leading, and it looks like, unless catastrophic failure, I believe Jesper Talborg will take his second win of the season. Toby Davis, great run so far. It just didn't have enough to hold off these Holdens here. Now Chris Butcher, again, incredible starts, and getting away cleanly, and putting together all in all solid run. Vladislav Berlaka's story of the start. This man went from 6th place to 1st, which is incredible. Mirvold qualifying, I believe it was 9th, and coming through the field to 6th for what's been a pretty good run altogether. Let's see if we can catch a little battle here before the race is over. I don't see much going on here in the way of a battle. Everyone's kind of spread out. Levike, poor guy, he lost his front clip, it looks like. These guys are battling to the end. Let's just go with our race winner here, Mr. Jesper Talborg, as he comes around the sweeper, and he's going to be heading down into the last three corners. The left, right, left, using a little bit of curb. Avoid the anti-cuts. Rasmus ends up closing a little bit on him, but Jesper's probably just taking it a little easy. And Jesper Talborg is going to be the winner of Salzburgring race number 1. Congratulations to you, Jesper. So we've got the Iceman up front. Rasmus Salo, or Raw Steel, in second. Toby Davis crosses the line in third. And look at what we've got. We got 2 Holdens, 2 Sierras. And as 5th place comes across the line, Berlaka in a BMW. Another Holden. So we have in the top 6, we have 3 Holdens. Olmerius Milvold pulls off a nice 6th place finish. Tommy Ohala and him battle tooth and nail. Tommy Ohala takes 7th. Ivo Simons in another Sierra takes 8th place. Jay Adji in another Sierra takes 9th. And then Gregory DeGrief, our 2nd place in the championship runner, is 10th place after, I'm not exactly sure what happened to him. I did miss that, and I apologize for that. But UP finishes in 11th, Egbeer in 12th, Peter Bartfai in 13th. Ricardo Aznagi in 14th, Eric Tveit in 15th after a great run. Little bit unfortunate, not sure what happened. He had it looked possibly like a top 10 run going. Eunice Ravio in 16th, David Yunt in 17th, Adam Vaughn in 18th, William Levike in 19th. 20th position is Kane Lasky. And one thing I do notice is how many Sierras are in the top 10. We've got 5 Sierras. 50% of the top 10 ends up being Sierras. And then as we go through the rest of the field, you've got what we got here? Sorry, Yari Venari 21st, Peter Clausen 22nd, Jeff Dobbing 24th, Shannon Blonde 25th, and in 26th. Okay, and that's going to be it for the rundown on race 1. So the big stories here: the Holdens are fast. There's no doubt about that. The Holdens are solidly fast all through the race. The only problem, and this seems to be a consistent across every race this season, is the Holdens cannot get off the line, and the Sierras are dominating at the starts. I mean, even the BMW, the start of the BMW has been phenomenal, but it's becoming a real race pace setter, because if the Holdens are holding all the speed, no pun intended, they always end up having to overcome adversity at the start of the race, and this puts them in a position where you could potentially take some damage, you could run off the track, you could get hit by someone. So there's a number of things that play into the consequences of the start. So these guys are going to have to figure that out if they want to limit their potential for race-ending incidents. Now, the Sierras of Toby Davis and Chris Butcher are very quick, as you can prove it. But in this race today, they just didn't have enough to hold off Jesper or Rasmus. And I'm quite surprised that Rasmus wasn't able to contend more with Jesper. But textbook move by Jesper, getting by Rasmus. Jesper is quite the seasoned racer. He's the ATCC reigning champion, AGTC reigning champion, RDTCC champion. So it's no wonder that he's in the running for Sim Racer of the Year. Now, we're just going to be switching over to race number 2. And as the grid is loading up, we're going to be headed into the second portion of this race. So just bear with me. I'll be with you guys in just a second. with. Okay, so we're going to have a 5-minute practice session here. What I'm gonna do is follow along with someone. Sorry, guys, just 1 second here. Okay. Now, as we are sitting here, we're going to be going through a quick 5-minute practice session, and then we'll be doing one more Super Pole qualifying, and then we'll be going straight into the 18-lap race. So the question is can Jesper squeeze some more time out of his car and take the pole away from Rasmus Salo? Can Rasmus Salo pull off another upset and take another pole position and another point in the championship? Can the Holdens get off the line? And can the Sierras of Chris Butcher and Toby Davis hold off the Holdens? I guess we will see. We'll find out very shortly here. The two guys are probably just going to go out, make sure everything's okay with their car. They've got the setup they need for qualifying. And then we'll be headed into our second Super Pole qualifying. So I'm just going to just take a quick break here, guys. I just have to go get myself a drink. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, everybody. Sorry for the delay there. I just needed, after that bit of excitement there, said to take a quick rest. Generally, when Ryan's with me, hopefully he is feeling better. It's a little easier for us to send a message if one of us has to pop away from the screen for a minute, grab a drink or bathroom or something. But hopefully Ryan gets better and he'll be back for the next event, which, sorry about that. Just 1 second. I'm just going to pull up what we're looking at for the next event. I believe, I don't know. See, Ryan is the expert at knowing the schedule and everything because obviously he sets it. Our next event going to be all right, guys, just bear with me here. Well, this isn't going as planned. Anyways, As I'm looking through the As I'm just looking through the threads here, just some predictions that had come up. I think everyone had predicted that we were it was going to be a Jesper Talborg perfect races, a pole, fast lap, and win. Now, he was very close to doing that, but Jesper Talborg was robbed at the very last second of his pole position by Rasmus Salo, and he's looking at. He's probably gonna want to do that in this race here because he's trying to recover from a little bit of a slow start to the season, where Toby Davis had just basically dominated both the first two events, and we're going to be looking at probably a very tight championship as we start to head into the second half of the season. And the reason being is the tracks change, the advantages for everyone change. Now, the second event, the fifth event is going to be another sprint race at Norrisring, where the advantage is going to be towards the Cosworths and the Mercedes. Sorry, BMWs in it. And then after that, we're going to be headed into Lusitania for a 150-kilometer race, not really enduro, but fairly lengthy race. And then February 8th, we're going to be at Potrero de los Fuentes at a 150-kilometer race. Then we'll be into our season finale at Mount Panorama, which is always exciting. Now, I will take this time to also mention that ATCC is going to be starting January 13th, as always, and pre-qualification will be starting January 6th. We're going to be looking at, we have 53 entries for this league, and we'll be running across 2 servers. But that man that we're following along with right now, Jesper Talborg, is the reigning ATCC champion. Chris Butcher. Okay, it looked like Chris Butcher must be on his outlap because he got out of the way really quickly and it didn't make any sense. So Jesper Talborg, the reigning ATCC champion, is looking to add a World Touring Masters Championship to his resume as he breaks it loose there. Jesper's always on the edge. That's why we call him the Iceman. Now, Jesper Talborg, I believe, had a 24.6, I believe, in qualifying, where Rasmus Salo did a 26.5, and it was only 22 thousandths of a second, something like that. But I'd be surprised if he can squeak any more time out of that car because he's always on the edge. He's always pushing, keeps it nice and smooth. It's a little bit loose out there, nice and wide entry. Gregory DeGrief has taken the provisional pole with a 23.9. Sorry, so it's a 23.6 that Jesper had done. But Gregory DeGrief with an excellent time. He's improved over his the time he had from the first race. Jesper Talborg coming across the line to do his pole lap. He does a 23.558, taking provisional pole, the Iceman. Now the Iceman is sitting on the pole. He actually bettered his time from the last qualifying by half a tenth. Now, where am I looking? Where we need to find? What am I looking for here? I need to find Rasmus Salo. Let's get on board with him. Here we go. Tommy O'Hala's headed out on track. Rasmus Salo's still waiting. Get to some cars that are on board. So as it stands, Eric Tveit does a 25.5, Andy Oakley with a 25.5 as well. Vladislav Brlak a 25.6, which I believe that's right around the same time they did before. I thought he was a little quicker than that, but needless to say, if he starts in 10th, I would expect him to be maybe second by turn 1. But as the field starts to finish out here, we've still got 6 minutes left in quali. A couple people struggling a little bit with their times. It's so easy to do when you only get one lap. The pressure's on, and it's tough. It's tough to qualify when you have 30 minutes and try to set a time that's going to be competitive and put you near the front of the grid. But when you're forced to do it in one lap, anything can happen. You can get a little loose, get a little happy on the throttle, totally self-destruct and just destroy your car, or just don't. You get the pressure gets to you, and you just don't push as hard as you should, and you don't qualify where you're supposed to be. Now we're on board with Ross Masalo, as he is going to be coming around to start his lap. He's probably going to want to back off a little bit because he's got company in front, and he doesn't need a draft. His car does not need it. If I was him, I would leave that gap, because if he closes on him on his hot lap, he doesn't have to get out of his way, and I can't quite make out who that car is, but he's close enough that he's going to get in, it's going to be in his lap, unless the car in front is on his hot lap. And it looks like they has, because they have escaped out. So Ross Masala with clean track is going to look to dethrone or dethaw the Iceman at the top of the grid. Chris Butcher has slotted into third position. Yupa, with an excellent time of 25.5, slots into the sixth position ahead of Berlaka. Eric Tveit sitting pretty at the moment. We've still got a couple big players to come through. We still got, I believe Florian Strauss is gone. Florian Strauss has set a time, but has he? Let's see. Florian Strauss with a 27.8. I'm not too sure. Very uncharacteristic. Florian Strauss, the World V8 Supercar champion, not doing what you would expect him to do, and that's be it near the front. Struggling a little bit. I know car selection. Rasmus Salo, purple in Sector 1. He's 2/10 up on Jesper Talborg, which is phenomenal. It's 2/10 even quicker than the time he set in the first qualifying. There's a car turned around. Rasmus Salo coming through the last few corners here, looking to dethrone Jesper Talborg off the pole again and take a point away from Jesper Talborg's championship run. Rasmus Salo coming to the start-finish line. Can he take him down? Can he do it? No. He loses 2/10. Do you think it might have been the car that was spun around? Let's see if we can catch that. No, I don't think we can. That car that was spun around might have spooked him just a little bit, and it would have set him. I think that spooked him enough. So the gap between them was 0.05 of a second, and that was roughly around the same gap from the first race. So Jesper Talborg is paying back Rasmus Salo for stealing his pole from the last race. Now, going through, as people are continuing to qualify, Gregory DeGrief, 23.9, improves on his lap time. He's probably got the car that's most evenly matched to the Holdens overall, but I'm not exactly sure what happened to him in that last race. Toby Davis sits in fourth position in around the same time as he did last time, 24.0. Chris Butcher, 24.0. Tommy Ohala, 25.2. Shannon Blonde, again, with a stunning qualifying. But let's just hope I can't believe this. William Levike in the Alpha has qualified in 7th position with a 125.2. Now, let me see where Ivo Simons is, because if Ivo has not qualified yet, there is bad blood between the two of them. Ivo Simons had put off William Levike after he had an incredible run going in race 1. Now, I'm only saying that from my perspective, so obviously the officials will need to look at it, but I'm concerned that if he does qualify anywhere near Levike, there might be some bad blood and some things may happen. So we'll follow along with Ivo Simons and see where he can slot in. But as it stands, top speeds, just want to take a look at this. Rasmus Salo hitting 268 kilometers. Jesper Talborg hitting 265. Shannon Blonde hitting the same speed as the Holdens in that Ford Mustang GT. Andy Oakley at 261. And Gregory DeGrief at 260. And you can see everyone else kind of funnels in and around the same speeds at that point. Now, we're following along with Ivo Simons just to see if he's going to slot in anywhere near William Levike to predict the fireworks for the second race. But Shannon Blonde, after having a struggle to the start of the season, sitting pretty well in an 8th position qualifying, but needs to figure out how to keep that car together in the race as Ivo Simons comes through the last few corners here. The long sweeper into the last 3 corners, left, right, left, little curb, avoid the anti-cuts, and get a nice run down start-finish line straight away. Ivo Simons is going to come across the line. Where is it going to be? I think it's going to be in the 9th to 15th. 13th position, so not the qualifying Ivo was looking for when there's a lot of Cosworths further up on the grid. Let's see if we can catch if there's anyone still out there. Get back through the field. Only Adam Egbeer, David Yunt, and Moderam are still on track. Adam Egbeer crosses the line to start his one and only lap with 20 seconds left. Pushing it a little close. David Yunt, with only 1.7 seconds back, would probably slot him in and around where Ivo Simons is in the 13th, 14th, 15th spot. Jonathan Moderam does not set a time. Alberto Aznagi is out there in the M3 looking to complete a lap. And Mirvold is out. He always seems to leave it very late in the qualifying session. Not sure why. Mirvold in the Holden had a great run in the last event here, or the last race. Sorry, he finished in 7th position, so good run by Mirvold. Had a good battle going with Tommy Ohala, and I would expect them to be close again and see round 2 of that battle. So, Mirvold's only 1/10 back of the pole at this time. That's incredible as he's coming around the long sweeper, gets a little bit sideways in the Holden, using all of the weight, the power of that Holden. Last 3 corners at only a 10th down, probably lost a little bit, slides it sideways, comes through, right, left, sorry. And where's he going to slot in? Mirvold in the Holden, comes across the line in 4th position and bumps Toby Davis with a 24.0. It's crazy because you've got 3rd position to 6 is separated by only 1/10 of a second. Now, as we see, Adam Egbeer was the last guy to cross the line, and he must have struggled. He must have had a mistake out there because he's at a 140, guys. He's going to take the last position here. And as we finish with qualifying, your pole sitter for race 2 is going to be Jesper Talberg with a 23.558. So what we're looking at this point now is what's going to happen at the start. Where are the cars going to lie once the green flag comes down? Because Toby Davis, Chris Butcher, let's see where Berlacca is. Berlacca is in 14th place. We're going to keep an eye on him because if he had any start like he had the last time, he'll be leading the race by turn 1. So now we're into warm-up here. I'm going to go through the grid here and just follow through. Once again, the Holdens take the front row. Jesper Talberg with pole position, 1:23.558, fastest qualifying time of any car so far, and I believe of any race at this track in World Touring Masters. Rasmus Salo takes 2nd place with a 23.6. So basically, the front rows just swapped their positions for this event. Gregory DeGrief in 3rd position in the Skyline. He is running 2nd in the championship at this point, 23.984. Marius Mirvold with a 24.011 in the Holden. So the top 4 cars have 3 Holdens in it, and it's going to be a little tough to combat as the race goes on. But at the start, these cars can't get off the line. Toby Davis, 5th position, your championship leader, 24.0. Chris Butcher in 6th place. Chris Butcher 6th place, 24.089. Tommy Ohala in the Cosworth, so you got 3 Cosworths in a row. 7th place, 25.2. William Levike in the Alpha, which is just I can't even believe that car's in the top 10 at this point. It just has such a as we see the Alpha flip for whatever reason out on the track. William Levike driving that car to an 8th position. Well done. Shannon Blund, again, great qualifying in the top 10 in that Ford Mustang GT, which has the top speed, don't stay with the Holdens, is sitting in 9th position with a 25.3. David Yunt is in 10th position with a 25.4. Eric Tveit, 11th, 25.5. Andy Oakley, 12th with a 25.5. Juha Maki Upel is Ford Sierra Cosworth, is in 13th with a 25.5. Vladislav Berlacca, who had an incredible run, was at one point leading a couple of corners in that BMW at this track, did a 25.6. Ivo Simons is in 15th position. We'll see what's going to happen there between him and William Levike as the race progresses because a little bad blood. is in 15th place at a 25.6. Peter Bartfy, 25.7 in 16th. Kane Lasky, 17th. Much better qualifying for Kane Lasky in the Volvo, which was capable of finishing 6th here last season, and it is the championship-winning car. He sits in 17th. 18th position, Mikko Mustonen. 19th position, Alberto Asnaghi. 20th position, I'm not sure. The guy is disconnected. 21st, Adam Vaughn with a 26.2. Ricardo Asnaghi in 22nd with a 26.4. Run through the field here. Jeff Dobbing, 23rd. Yari Vanari, our video man, 24th. Nikolai Lavanov in 25th. Peter Clausen in 26th. Jay Adji, 27th. 28th is David Cuthill. David J. Anderson is 29th, who surprisingly managed to get through a bit of the melee at the start of the race. Was up in, I believe, upwards around the 15 position mark. So maybe just has better form racing than qualifying. Andy Bernard sits in 30th. Tony Matthews, 31st. Florian Strauss in 32nd. It's an uncharacteristic spot to see the man, the myth, the legend, Florian Strauss. Maybe if we play the inspirational video, he can have one of those runs like he did at Sydney Park. Roy Magnus sits in 33rd. 34th is Vadim Semchenko. Apologize if I'm getting your names wrong. Normally it's Ryan who says them. 35th, Christoph Badura. 36th, Scott Zwick. 37th, Adam Egbier, who not going to be happy with that qualifying. Let me just make sure that was it. I believe so. And Jonathan Moderam is in 38th with no time. So, the question is, what are we going to see here today? We've already seen what happens at the start of the race with guys like Obi Davis, Chris Butcher, and Vladislav Perlaka now is one of the insane starters in this league. I do think in the end it's going to still remain a 2-car race. I think it's going to be Rasmus Salo, Jesper Talbot. Maybe Mirvold can get it together and he can stick with them, because I'm sure once he's on their bumper, he'll have a little easier time managing the car if he can follow along and follow in line with the exact same car, but driven by guys like Jesper and Rasmus. So Rasmus, would like to also say for Rasmus, he's having a great start to his season for being new to the league and new to Touring Pro Series, and definitely would like to extend the invite to anyone who does end up watching these races to join us for Touring Pro Series. We cover a wide range of tin top racing. Myself, I run the American GT Championship and the American Touring Car Championship, which covers the kind of the later time zone for anyone, say, does shift work in Europe. They could run in the leagues that I run. Ryan runs everything in the Euro time zones, which allows for a wide variety of people from all walks of work and different places around the world. But we are striving to be one of the largest organizers of tin top league racing in the world, and we strive to put on good broadcasts. Ryan does a lot of hard work behind the scenes that sometimes gets taken for granted and neglected, but he does great work and is a definite asset to the sim racing community in general as a whole. So as we're headed to the last few seconds of warm-up, we are going to be looking at a quick start. I thought for some reason we were going to have a formation lap, but we did not. Those are the little details that Ryan knows so quickly and knows them by heart. So hopefully for the next event, we will Ryan and I will be teamed up again, and we can have our usual banter back and forth, and generally just take little nips out of each other here and there. But we're looking at another exciting race. Salzburgring is a very exciting place to watch racing. It's going to be interesting, so just hold tight and we're going to see the green.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
And here we go. It is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to choose. Who are we going to choose? Let's see let's see a good spot to start from. TV cam. Let's try. This is always a tough decision. Where do you want to start? TV cam always does provide something, but if you're a little closer to the action, like reverse cam on Jesper, you can really see what's going to happen, because as we get to the timing here, we're just waiting to see these cars light up. Who's going to get twitchy? Who's going to take that whole shot? And away they go. The Holden's going to wait. Look who it is. It's Toby Davis and Chris Butcher down the inside. Another one. Look at this. It's madness. Both Toby Davis and who is that? Is that Tommy Ohala? Tommy Ohala and Toby Davis jump to the front of the grid. Rasmus Salo gets up on two wheels. Jesper Talberg is still there. They didn't lose that as many positions as they did last time. Everyone's kind of sneaking through. Chris Butcher ends up at the short end of the stick. He drops a ways back in the field, but it looks like everyone seems to have gotten away pretty cleanly. Headed down into the turn 3. Berlaka locks up as they're coming out. Everyone's got to stay clean. It's still 18 laps, guys. This time, Gregory DeGrief has kept his car together. He managed to stay out of trouble. He's right on Jesper Talberg. Can he stay with them and be a threat throughout this race? As you see now, Rasmus Salo is getting to the front. He is not wasting any time. He does not want to be battling. He wants to be in front. He needs clean air. He wants to take this win from Jesper Talberg. Look at the crossover, textbook by Toby Davis. He timed that absolutely perfectly. Look at this battle of 5 cars at the front. You got Toby Davis, Rasmus Salo, Tommy O'Holland battling hard. You got Gregory DeGrief, last season's champion, Jesper Talberg up the inside into the last few corners. Can he hold it? Someone's taking out one of the handicuts. Rasmus Salo gets a little bit loose. Tommy O'Hall's battling hard, but he's not going to get by him down this straight here. Rasmus Salo holds on to second place. Toby Davis has some clean air. And you got Gregory DeGrief is still by Jesper Talberg, but I don't think he's going to hold him for long. The speed of the Holden is just hard to hold back, and Gregory DeGrief gets a little bit loose. Heads into the first few corners. Turn 1, turn 2. Avoid the anti-cuts. Now I could actually see Jesper might even push Gregory by Tommy O'Halla, but Tommy O'Halla, great start. Who's David Yun, great start. Eric Tveit, excellent start again. Got his car in a good position. Mirvold in 5th, holding on to 6th position. So we got 3 Holdens still in the spot. I don't think much changed at the very front. Here we go. Jesper Talberg is just looking. Gregory DeGrief's running him a little wide. Give some room, guys. Come on, it's early. So Jesper Talberg takes the position with ease. Gregory DeGrief's looking to get by. He's got to do it sneaky. Rasmus Salo has taken the lead. I'm sorry I missed that, but Rasmus Salo did not waste any time. He wants this lead, and he's going to keep it. And who's this? Gregory DeGrief. Look up the inside of Jesper Talberg. He takes the position. Into the last few corners. We're going to go left, right, left once again. Gregory DeGrief is on fire right now. He wants a good finish here. He's in 2nd in the championship. He needs some points. He only finished in 10th in the first race. He is going to be chasing down Toby Davis, and he does have a little bit of an advantage speed-wise over Toby Davis. He has out-qualified him, but they're generally around the same pace here at this track. So Rasmus Salo, Ross Steele is leading. Toby Davis is in 2nd. Gregory DeGrief in 3rd with Talberg in 4th. Talberg needs to dig early, get his positions. Otherwise, Salo could very easily walk away from this. He's got the lead now. He has the pace. But now Talberg has a tall order to get through 2 guys just to get to Rasmus Salo's bumper, and then he still has to catch him. Tommy O'Hall is sitting in 5th position. Mirvold in 6th. In hot pursuit. He's got Tveit in hot pursuit of him with David Yunt in 8th. Adam Egbeer into the pits must have had some damage. And then Chris Butcher back in 9th, which is it doesn't seem right after the race he had in the first race. Vladislav Berlaka, the guy who had the most incredible start in race 1, is in 13th. And one thing that I don't understand is, where is William Levike? William Levike in 18th place. He's dropped back. I was so looking forward to watching that Alpha run and struggle a little bit. But as we get back to the front of the grid here, let's see, Rasmus Salo. Gregory DeGrief has gotten by. Let's see if we can catch that. Of course not. No. Gregory DeGrief, Rasmus Salo, fastest lap of the race with a 24.0. He was half a second faster than Jesper Talberg in race 1. No, sorry, Gregory DeGrief, 24.0. Gregory de Grief, fastest lap of the race. That's half a second quicker than Jesper Talberg went in race 1. Yeah, Gregory de Grief is a man possessed. He wants this race when he needs those points. Jesper Talberg is looking to get by Toby Davis. Davis is having none of it. He's not giving it away easy. He knows that he's got the corner speed. Talberg's going to have to do it around the outside on a long straight, and that's probably the only way he's going to give him any room. But as these two battle, Gregory de Grief is getting away from Jesper Talberg. Now Talberg takes the position. You've got de Grief in second place. It looks like he's just a man on fire. He's possessed. He wants the race win, but he's going to have to go through Rasmus Salo, and that's not an easy thing to do, especially trying to pass. Rasmus Salo last lap did a 24.5, where de Grief did a 24.0. That's a half second difference. So Talberg gets into third comfortably. Now let's see, can he close on de Grief with the pace that de Grief is showing? Oh, look at de Grief. He is just so smooth right now. This is our reigning World Touring Master Champion. He is wanting to retain his title. And if I have a quick look here, he was, I believe, only 24 points back of Toby Davis. Yeah, 24 points, but Toby Davis did take a bunch of points out of it, or added a bunch of points to that in the first race because of him finishing third, with de Grief finishing in 10th. So can de Grief close? He's at 1.1 seconds on the gap. He locks the tires up into the carousel there. So we'll follow back. Tommy Ohala, great run. 5th position for Tommy Ohala. Mirvold again, he's holding his own. No pun intended. But Tveit, if he could keep it together, he could possibly be looking at a top 6 finish. But look who's there. You've got Buchacho. We love him because he's so macho. Sitting in 8th position, pacing down Tveit. And Butcher knows how to make moves. He's got moves like Jagger. Now, up at the front again, the gap has seemed to have opened up. Rasmus seems to have found his legs. He's running a 24.3 last lap with de Grief. I believe he's lost in this lap. It looks to me, just visually, maybe a 10th or 2. But this is where the skyline is so strong. Just hugs the curbs, so smooth through here. Let's see what the gap is at the line. Rasmus Salo did a 24.3 last lap. What's he going to do this lap? 24.5, but Gregory de Grief is losing a little bit. He's down to it's 1.5 seconds, so he lost 0.4 of a second that lap. Talberg is closing on de Grief. Talberg can smell him. He can think, okay, the race win is within my grasp. He's 2.4 back of Salo. Toby Davis and Tommy Ohala know that this is not a race that it would be easily won in any fashion. They are disadvantaged with the speed, but they're here to get solid finishes. Toby Davis is our championship leader. He needs to be smart. He needs to get his points when he can, and then capitalize on the tracks where he has the advantage. And look, just like I said, Buchacho is pushing for the position from Tveit. Eric Tveit is going to be under attack, relentless attack. The Rover is nice and quick, but when it's in the slipstream, look at him. He's on Mirvold's bumper. And Mirvold's going to slowly pull away, and that draft's going to get less and less. Butcher is going to be really antsy to get by. He's not going to wait. He's not going to make it pretty. He just wants to get by. Look at him in the draft. Crosses over a little bit, looks down the inside. No, he's not quite there. Is he going to try to outbrake him? Can't do it. Denied. Tveit running real wide. Mirvold is struggling to keep him back there. Mirvold gets a little bit loose. Butcher's right there. He's going to capitalize if there's anything happen. If Mirvold breaks loose, Tveit's going to have to check up. Butcher will probably go by both. Look, he's looking at the inside and to the left. Can he do it? No, Tveit's got the inside. Tries to cross over. Gets back onto his bumper. Crossing over here again. Start-finish line straight. I don't think he's going to get by down the straight here. I don't know if he has enough. Oh, look, Butcher is pushing. He's headed into turn 1. He wants the position from Tveit. He wants it bad. Can he do it? Under braking? No, he gets a little bit loose. Thinks better of it. Coming through, avoid the anti-cuts, get a better run out. Is he going to go by? He looks up the curb. He has a little bit of the grass. He's going. Now he's got the outside here for this long left, but I think he's done it. He's pulled it off. Nice move by Chris Butcher, and he gets a little bit loose into the carousel. Coming up on Mirvold now. Can he take Mirvold? Can he get by him? Eric Tveit loses a spot, but Eric Tveit is sitting in a top 8 position. Well done for Eric. back a little bit. David Young just behind his battle. And then you got Kane Lasky. Great run by Kane. Great. Incredible in the Volvo. That car finished 6th last season in the hands of Peter Duivelar. And I'm sorry, I've been saying Gregory de Grief is our reigning champion. I apologize. I just caught myself there. Peter Duivelar is our reigning champion. I apologize. Gregory de Grief was season 1 champion. So, completely wrong. I've said it multiple times. So just checking that now. So Kane loses a spot to Ivo. Vladislav Balaka is in 12th. Vaughn 13th. Great run for him. Andy Oakley 14th. Peter Bartfy 15th. Let's get back up to the front because I have a feeling I'm missing something here. Jesper Talborg is trying to get by Gregory de Grief, who is sitting in second in the points. Jesper's third in the points. This is a battle for what could be points that will decide the championship at Mount Panorama. But all the while, Rasmus Salo is rubbing his hands together. He just ran a 24/7, so fairly consistent. But I do think Jesper has a faster pace as the race goes on. Jesper's around the outside. Gregory's not giving any room in the carousel. He's saying, it is not happening. You are going to have to earn this. Toby Davis is just comfortably in 4th, just taking his time, keeping his car together, running its championship run. Now, Jesper having some work cut out for him. He's got to get by de Grief if he wants any chance at Rasmus Salo. It looks like he's done it. He's cleared him, but de Grief will not let it go easily. If he can get a good corner through here in the last 3 corners, he could probably sneak it back. He's got a little more traction. And look, Jesper sliding through the last few corners here. And de Grief around the outside. Is he going to hold it? He's trying to hold the hold-in to the inside. And de Grief has the position back. De Grief will not give up here. And this is really hurting Jesper's chance for a double win here. Gregory takes the spot back. And Jesper has to settle back into 3rd. While Chris Butcher is sliding the car out. Always exciting to watch. Chasing now Mirvold. But Tveit is staying close to his bumper with David Yunt pretty in a close 9th. Kane Lasky, great run, 10th. Let's just get through the field. I wanted to give everyone a shot here. Peter Bartfy, 15th. Upel in 16th. William Levike in 17th. Jay Adji in 18th. Gary Lennon, 19th. Mikko Mustonen in 20th. Florian Strauss, great run back from the back of the pack. Florian Strauss down to the inside of Mustonen. Book it. Takes that spot, moves on, doesn't even lose any time. And he's got, I would say, 10 cars in front of him that he's probably capable of passing at this point right now. He's coming up on Gary Lennon. There's a bit of a scuffle going on in front of him. And that Alpha Levike is just so underpowered here. He's struggling with the racing disadvantage. But Florian Strauss, I'm going to come back to him in a moment. I just want to get through the rest of the field and back to the front. You got Alberto Aznaghi, 22nd. Ricardo Aznaghi, 23rd. David Cuthill, 24th. Clausen, 25th. Ilovanov, David J. Anderson, Blonde, who again is qualified 10th and is back in 28th position. You got to work on your racing craft as a whole. You got to keep the car together. Try to make a little better decisions because you got the speed. You pulled off a great qualifying. We just want to see you do well in the race. Roy Magnus, 29th. Padura, sorry guys, I'm going to get back to the front because I don't want to miss anything. So Talberg has gotten by de Grief, and he is staying by. He's gone this time. There's a big battle back here, and Butcher has gotten by Mirvold. So Butcher is now in 6th position, having a good run back. Mirvold, Tveit, and Joan have a good battle, but I want to follow along with Florian Strauss. This is going to be exciting, I have a feeling. He is in 22nd right now, and look at the pile of cars here. Florian Strauss is on a mission. Look at this. He's trying to go around the outside. He takes 2 cars into turn 1. He's into 20th. He's coming up on Clausen, who is in the Alpha. He should be able to get by. William Levike followed him through on this one. And Strauss into the inside. Bucket. He is just on fire now. He's got 2 more spots up in front of him. Alberto Aznaghi and Shannon Blonde. And the Mustang and there's the Mustang and Strauss is by. That was easy. Oh no, sorry, he hasn't got by. So yeah, he has. What happened there? Alberto Aznaghi just stopped. What's going on? He's just slowed right down. you having some kind of problem? Let's see. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Well, anyways, Alberto Aznagi falling rapidly through the field for whatever reason, but Strauss has now moved up to 18th position and is chasing down Shannon Blunt. So I'm gonna get back up to the leaders here because I think there's a good battle going on right here. This is Ivo Simons, Kane Lasky, and Vladislav Burlaka. Kane Lasky, he locks up and goes right through the turn 1 complex. That was where we saw Jesper Talberg did the exact same thing here last season and ended his race. Luckily, he didn't hit those tires there, but Ivo Simons taking advantage of Kane Lasky's mishap, and so is Vladislav Burlaka. They're not going to catch Yunt. The gap there is huge. We're talking 8 seconds. Easy, but Yunt, Tveit, Meervold, and Butcher have a bit of a battle still going on here. And up at the front, let's see what the gap is. 3.4 seconds. That to me sounds like race over. But anything can happen in World Touring Masters. Anything can happen. Bigger gaps have been lost and bigger gaps have been gained. But it's 3.4 seconds at this point, with Saulo doing a 24.9 his last lap. It's down to 3 seconds. Talberg has taken 0.4 of a second out of this lead with 6 laps to go. So 6 laps, 0.4. 2.4 seconds. Can he do it? I don't know. If anyone can do it, it's the Iceman. So we've got this battle still here. Let's go back a little bit. Ivo Simons, Vladislav Burlaka. These two are going to battle it out. And just behind, this is your battle with Kane Lasky. Kane Lasky and Adam Vaughn. Andy Oakley. Oh, and look, Kane Lasky looks up the inside, and he takes it. And there's contact. He goes up over the curb. He gets into Vaughn. Oh, no, and Andy Oakley gets hit from behind. Oh, dear. Let me pull this back and see what happened. So as they come into turn 1, you got Kane Lasky looking up the inside. Kane Lasky takes the spot. Andy Oakley goes up over the curb, hits Adam Vaughn, and as he's accelerating, he just gets clipped by, I can't make out who that is. Oh, it's very unfortunate for him. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So sorry for Andy Oakley there. But let's see what happened with the rest of those guys. Oh, Meervold sideways into the long sweeping right. Last 3 corners. These guys this is going to be a battle to the end. To Eric Tveit looking to take back the spot from Butcher. He's not going to get bullied. Buchacho, he's saying you are not so macho. And Buchacho looking very spry on the bumper of Meervold. Tveit, David Yunt is just kind of creeping right now. He's one of those creepy guys that is just waiting around the back, seeing what's up, waiting for something to pop off and take advantage. But Eric Tveit, this is tight racing. Let's get on board with Meervold and watch what's going on behind him. And this is what he's seeing in the mirror. And he's going, Jesus Christ, you guys are crazy. So Tveit inside takes the spot. Butcher not having anything of it. He's looking to take it back, but Meervold needs these guys to keep battling so he can hold on to his top 6. The gap is down to 2.9 seconds from Talberg to Saulo, and Saulo ran a 24.7, so he's picked his pace up. You can see that Talberg was closing in on him, and he's just picked the pace up a little bit. And look at Meervold gap the group of Tveit, Butcher, and David Yunt. It's unbelievable the speed of the Holden, but these guys are not going to give up. They're not going to say that he's getting away from me. Eric Tveit still defending on Chris Butcher. Chris Butcher wants to get by. He knows he can be in front of Meervold, but he's got to get there and he's got to get by him. And it's not going to happen with Tveit holding him up. But it shows Tveit had made his move to get back by him, so I can't really say he's holding him up. David Yunt hasn't really been aggressive in this battle, but maybe he's just saving his tires for the end run. Let's see what we got going here. Burlaka has gotten by Ivo Simons, and he seems to be pulling away. Burlaka had an incredible start to the race, the last race. Jay Adji and Kane Lasky. Kane Lasky into the inside, into turn 1. Can he do it? A little bit of contact? No. Adji defends. Kane Lasky runs over the anti-cut. Adam Vaughn has recovered from his little contact with, I can't remember the car. Upel is right on his bumper. Shannon Blonde is up to 16th. Florian Strauss is gone. Strauss. Something has happened to Strauss. And he's gone way back. He had a great run going. He's incredibly fast in the V8s, but he seems to be struggling with his car selection in this series. Rasmus Salo still leading with Florian Strauss being put a lap down, and you will never hear me say that probably ever again. He must have struggled some type of contact damage, whatever, but hearing the word lapped and Florian Strauss in the same sentence is not a commonplace and will probably never be. Let's get this battle back here. Still, these guys are close. Tveit has taken advantage of getting by Butcher and trying to gap him a bit. David Yunt still just a little bit timid with his actions, but they're still closing up, under braking. They close on Meervold because it's just such a heavy car. Oh, Butcher loses it. Butcher's around. He locks up into turn one. What's happened here? He just loses concentration. He hits the anti-cut and gets stuck. Now there's cars coming through. He's got to wait. Let's see what happened there. Oh, no. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Butcher into turn one. He locks up so he doesn't hit Tveit, and he gets to that point where you're not recovering. Look at that. Look at how close that is. Let's see what that's like on board from here. So here's Butcher, locks up, and he's just counter-locked here, and there's nothing he can do. All four wheels locked. He actually hits Tveit and then goes around, and then he tries to recover by accelerating hard, and this is what happens. He ends up on top of the anti-cut, and now you got cars coming. Really unfortunate for Butcher, but he's fallen back to, 17th place. Very unfortunate for Butcher. And Eric Tveit, David Yunt, exactly what I was saying. David Yunt has just been patient. He's been patient, and he's waiting. His tires are probably a little better than these guys. I think he's capable of getting Meervold if Meervold makes a small mistake. Oh, the gap is down to 1.7 seconds. Jesper and Rasmus. There's two this lap, and then two more to go. So, like 2.5 laps remaining. Can he close? He can see him. He can smell it. He can smell the double win. Jesper's no stranger to the double win. He has taken a double win in multiple events. He's done so. He also did so in the ATCC at the KW Speedway in great fashion. I remember this because I watched the broadcast replay just the other day, and it was phenomenal. We had approximately 3,200 live viewers watching that event. It was phenomenal. But can he do it, though? Rasmus' pace is still fast, 24.9 last lap. So Jesper's got to be lapping faster, obviously. But fastest lap of this race has gone to Gregory de Grief at a 24.0, and pole went to Jesper. So how big is the gap? And it doesn't show, of course. Well, we'll just wait. We'll get back with them in a moment. David Yunt has held off Eric Tveit after he's got violent, and he's looking to chase down Meervold to take a top 6 spot. But there is still some battling going on. You've got Butcher being lapped. I think it looks like he's got a tire down because he's got a lot of smoke there. Berlaka up to 9th with Ivo Simons chasing in 10th. Jay Adji in 11th. Lasky in 12th. Great run by him. Shannon Blonde and William Levike are still battling tooth and nail. Levike with the corner speed. Blonde with the straight speed. Look at Levike down the inside. Oh no, Blonde. Save it. Easy on the gas. Easy. And you're safe. Well done. Nice move by Levike, definitely. We're going to follow along with the leaders to the end here, guys, because I have a feeling we might see a changing of the guard. Oh, no. Oh, that was lag. I thought Jesper was into the wall. Rasmus Salo last lap, 24.6. Okay. If Jesper can still close, he's got the rest of this lap and next lap to catch him. He's so close. I don't know what to say. Can he do it? The Iceman cometh. He is on fire. He can see the win in his eyes. It's within his grasp. 0.4 of a second. He's closed a full second in 2 laps. All he has to do is get it within the draft, and then he needs to figure out how am I going to convince him that he doesn't need to win this race? How am I going to make him feel that I need to be the one that takes that checkered flag? And it could be inside, it could be outside, it could just be Salo making a mistake and feeling charitable. But Tallberg is doing everything he can to get close, and all of those laps early in the race where he was battling have cost him. This is the result of not getting by early enough. It all ends up showing up at the end of the race, and he's dealing with it now. So Tallberg is chasing down Salo. I don't know if he's going to have enough. Does he have it? It looks like Salo's going to be flawless to the end here. Now, Salo, very well-deserved run. He did a 25-1 last lap, so that's why Tallberg had closed so much. Maybe he's just turned the afterburners off a little bit because he wanted to make sure he didn't make a mistake. But well done to Rasmus Salo, Ross Steele taking the win, and a well-earned win. And Jesper Tallberg taking a solid second place, with Toby Davis finishing in third position, bringing home lots of points. Obviously, he would have liked to win. Toby always likes to win, but a third is better than a last. Crossing the line in fourth place is going to be Tommy Ohala. Well done to Tommy. So 2 Holdens, 2 Sierras. Gregory DeGrief crosses the line in fifth position. What happened there? I missed Gregory. Something had happened to Gregory. He was running in third position and gave it away and ended up taking a fifth place. I'm sorry I missed that, but anyways, Mirabel taking a 6th, David Yun to 7th, Eric Tveit an 8th position, Berlach in 9th, Simons in 10th, Jay Adji in 11th, Kane Lasky, well done to him in 12th position, Adam Vaughn in 13th, Upel is 14th. Looks like we had a fairly mixed grid at the front. 2 Holdens, 2 Sierras, Skyline, Holden, Sierra, Rover, BMW. Leveik, 15th. Shannon Blonde, 16th. Peter Clausen, 17th. And David J. Anderson, 18th. Mikko Mustonen, 19th. As the rest of the grid comes down, we'll probably be joined by a couple of the racers here in a moment, and we'll just get a quick word with them as I'm starting to get a bit of a scratch in my throat from taking the lead. I don't know how Ryan does it. But Roy Magnus takes 20th position. Let's see here. We have Andy Bernard in 22nd with Ricardo Aznagi in 21st. And that's your final results for race 2. So congratulations to Rasmus Salo, Jesper Tallberg for a solid event, swapping wins and poles actually. The only difference is I think Jesper came out 1 point ahead of Rasmus Salo overall on the whole event because he did take a fastest lap. So well done to you guys. And just bear with me here for a moment, everybody. I'm just joined here by Toby Davis, and I'm just trying to get a message to Rasmus Salo to join us. And Toby, solid run. I know you knew what to expect here at this event. Obviously, Salzburgring plays right into the hands of the Holdens, and I think pretty well everyone had predicted it was going to be a Holden show. It's unfortunate, but as the tracks progress through the season, you're going to have the advantages are going to come play into your hands. How do you feel your event went overall? From what I saw, you and Chris's starts are unbelievable, and I couldn't stop talking about it. But tell me how the race went for you. How do you feel it went?
Well, I was hoping 2/4 before the start of the event. I thought De Grief would finish ahead of me both times, as well as Rasmus and Jesper. And kudos to those guys for actually finishing ahead of me. Greg had a couple of difficult incidents in both races, so it was good to finish on the podium both times, and keeps me in the championship.
Definitely. No, it was very. You know what? When the first race had happened, you had gotten in front, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy for let me get by you. I knew you don't make anything easy because you know that there's always that chance that you could keep them behind you. How hard were you trying to keep them behind you?
Oh, I was stressing over about how much room to leave them and where to block, where to defend. I owe Chris an apology on race 2. I got caught out by Salo in front of me, ducked to the right to avoid him, and took out Chris in the same point. So apologies to Chris for that. But otherwise, it was a fairly clean run, and I'm pleased with 2 podiums.
Yeah, well done, Toby. I mean, you're showing the makings of a true champion here for the season. You've done really well. I mean, you basically, I would almost say a pretty well flawless season just as when it comes down to results. So, best of luck as the season progresses. Now we're also joined by Chris Butcher, who is Buchacho and very macho. You had again, your starts are incredible. What's your secret?
It's the clutch, basically. That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always expect to see you jump through at the starts. Now, I will mention one thing: Vladislav Berlaka had you both beat in race 1. He went from 6th to 1st place. Did you even see him go by you?
I did say I saw him coming alongside the right hand side. I'm thinking, where on earth did he get that from? So
that's the same thing I was thinking, because all I was looking at, I was trying to watch you and Toby. I'm going, okay, well, let's see where these guys are going to go, and all of a sudden his BMW comes blazing by. But you had a really good race in race 1. You defended really well. How do you feel the whole event went for you as a whole? I know race 2 was a little bit of trials and tribulations, but tell us in your words.
Race 1, I don't think I could have expected any better, to be honest with you. I had a similar sort of pace to Toby, but I kind of got, to use Ryan's word, balked in turn 1. So that was a bit messy, but the rest of the race went well, and I got the car to where it should have been, in my opinion. But race 2, I've not got many words for, other than the start was a bit of a joke, and then battling on with the damaged car wasn't very helpful, and then it eventually got the better of me, and I ended up backing it into a barrier and getting a puncture and then getting stuck. So.
I did catch, I will say one thing, we did catch on the broadcast when you came up on, I believe it was Eric Tveit going into turn 1. It was near the end of the race. You came up on Tveit, you locked up, and you just barely touched him, and you got to that point where you couldn't save the car. Was that really all that happened? You just locked up?
Pretty much. He surprised me a little bit by how early he braked, actually, because he'd been braking a little bit earlier than that, a bit later than that even, on the laps before, and so that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. So, yeah.
Well, you had a great run in race 1, Chris. You're always exciting to watch, and we do look forward to seeing you in the next event, as you always provide lots of entertainment when racing. So, well done today. We're also joined by David Yount. Great run today. Race 1 wasn't a spectacular result, but race 2, I mean, you were very, very patient. You had calm, cool, collective, and you took advantage of things that happened in front of you. How do you feel your event went for you overall?
Yeah, played the same for race 2. I was just waiting behind Eric and Butchie for a chance. If they had a problem, I would go past, because we had 8 seconds to Berlocka and Simons at some time. So I thought Ole was just catchable if his tires were going down, but otherwise I was just focusing on not getting dropped from the group. So when Chris spun, I know now I'm gonna go for Eric, and well, it worked out, and nearly for Ole too. But well, when he lapped, I was catching up to him, tapped himself, lost all the slipstream onto the long straight. So I could have taken him into the fast corner, but well, it wasn't to be.
Well, it's good.
As for overall race, I'd say qualifying was my usual performance. I think race 1 was probably just the fault of having a really bad start that cost me about 7 positions, and the spin when I was battling with Eric, and Eric was tapped and then he tapped me. So, well, that was race 1. But race 2, that was my usual performance with Sand. I'm really happy because I like this track.
No, you definitely showed your speed. I mean, you've been progressively getting better in any of the races that I've seen you participate in, and I do look forward to watching you race in the future in WTM and any of the other Touring Pro Series leagues. But we're also joined by Rasmus Salo. Congratulations today. You did incredible. You and Jesper were kind of the predicted guys to be out front. Obviously, you had the bit of the advantage with the Holden. You two had shared poles. You both shared a pole position, and you both shared a race win. So in the end, you guys would have been perfectly tied, but Jesper did nip you by 1 point by taking the fastest lap in race 1. So how do you feel your event went overall, Rasmus?
Yeah, it was good racing, and coming this event, I knew I would have the speed, but it was just a matter of getting it right. And well, in first qualification, it went well. I was kind of surprised to get pole, to be honest. Even
it was good though. You did it in fine fashion. You were only I think it was 0.02 of a second apart, which I was to be honest. Jesper's time was very quick. I wasn't expecting it when it happened. I was like, it was surprising to see. So well done on that. But you raced well. How did you find when you were battling with, you got Toby Davis, Chris Butcher, and also Vladislav Balaka? Those guys had incredible starts.
They did. Yeah.
How hard was it to keep it together and try to find a way by them cleanly?
Well, I believe I made it, more difficult than it would have been if I just would have sweep past,
Yeah.
I believe I waited too long behind them, and that allowed Jesper to catch me. So yeah, I made it difficult.
No, I just want to say well done. You did. It was an incredible race, and also it's looking really good too for the championship because you've picked up quite a few points, and you put yourself in a very comfortable position as we head into the second half of the season. But I just want to thank you guys all for joining me in TeamSpeak here. Thanks for putting on a good show, and we will be racing the next event. You can find us live at Multi-BC on Stream 4 for the January 11th. We're going to be taking a break for Christmas. The Norris Ring, it'll be 2 sprint races that'll be taking place, so more action, more excitement, and it'll start to fan out what we can expect to see in the championship run as we come down to the home stretch. So thank you again, guys, and thank you all for watching. Also, I wish the best to Ryan. Hopefully he gets better and he can enjoy his holidays, and we can get back to making fun of each other on these broadcasts when they take place, and we're both in here. So thank you all again, and have a good night, guys.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thanks, you too. See you soon.
Bye-bye.